The number 4 bus runs from the outskirts of Wolverhampton to the city centre. It's probably typical of many such routes throughout the country. This video aims to show the localities through which it passes, some of the facilities that are available, and some of the interesting things that can be seen on the way. I hope you find it interesting and enjoyable. Springhill, Wolverhampton, and the southern terminus of the number 4 bus route. It's on a crossroads. One direction leads up to the A449 with a parade of shops. The facades have changed little over the years. Returning to the terminus, in front of us is the Springhill. The facade was originally brick, and the rear were gardens. The Springhill is a locally listed building. Springhill Lane, at the side of the pub, leads to Lower Penn and the Shropshire and Staffordshire countryside. Anyway, here's our bus. It's just unloaded passengers, passes the crossroads and turns round at the island at the junction with the A449. We're off on our journey to the city centre. The Texaco garage is now just a filling station and car wash, but was at one time the Saab main dealers for Wolverhampton. Our first stop is opposite Springdale Methodist Church and Community Centre. The building was opened on the 24th of October 1953. It continues to thrive and is a great asset to its congregation and those who use its facilities. Two stops down Warstones Road is a thriving row of retail shops. The pigeons certainly know which is their favourite store. The Co-op supermarket occupies the site of the former Penn Cinema, whose ghost will sometimes appear. Continuing our journey, the bus turns into Warstones Drive. There is a continuation of the local shopping facilities, with opposite a tranquil grassed area, and the local library is in the distance. Back on Warstones Drive, the flats on Leaso's Drive can be seen, and in front of them is the health centre. The route now continues along Warstones Drive. The bus next turns right into Leaso's Drive. At the end of Leaso's Drive, there is a left turn into Colway Road towards Merry Hill. The bus stop is outside the Maryhill pub, another locally listed building. It's a locality that caters for all your needs. The spiritual is looked after by St Joseph's Church, and with a host of businesses, residents needn't go into the city centre for everyday purchases. Langley Road takes you into the countryside of Staffordshire and Shropshire. Bills Lane and Finchfield Lane lead to the Bridge North Road. Time now to get back on the bus. The route now goes along the Treasel Road towards Bradmore, and that's our next stop. It's where the Treasel Road has a junction with Oxbourne Avenue and Church Road. Another public house dominates the junction with Oxbourne Avenue, Treasel Road and Church Road. The Gunmaker's Arms is another locally listed building. A short distance up Church Road is the Bradmore Club and Institute. The building dates from the 20s and was funded by a share issue that was repayable without interest. Back at the Treasel Road there is a hardware shop, electrical shop and a new domestic appliances store. It's time to move on to the next stop. This is on the Bradmore Road, just the other side of the crossroads with Broad Lane and Birch's Barn Road. One corner of the crossroads is taken up by the Bradmore Arms, yet another public house that is a locally listed building. A little way up Birch's Barn Road there is the relatively new addition of a Tesco Express. Looking back towards the crossroads, the corner of Broad Lane and Merridale Road is home to another row of shops. There is anything from a music store, florists, barbers, optician and pharmacy. The third corner is occupied by the Bradmore Community Centre. There is a major attraction on the fourth corner. It's Bantock Park, house and cafe. The house and extensive grounds were left to the borough following the death of Alderman Bantock in 1938. The grounds became a park with football pitches, a pitch and putt course and a playground for younger children. A carving of a bull now stands where the drinking fountain was located. The house itself contains an important collection of japanned and enamelware. In recent years, the outbuildings have been extensively refurbished. There is a well-supported cafe and many events are held there during the year. This is the drinking fountain that was originally in front of the house. Flower beds have been planted, and with the house licensed for weddings, they provide a background for photos. If you leave the park at the north end, then opposite is Jeffcock Road, and 100 yards along there is the entrance to Jeffcock Road Cemetery. A tranquil spot with an area given over to military graves in the care of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. There are some Dutch soldiers buried here as well, and every year, around Remembrance Time, a service is held to honour them. Our journey now continues along the Bradmer Road, passing Bantock Park on the left, then the turn to Jeffcock Road on the right. After that, it's down what I always term as Merridale Dip. Our next stop is at the bottom of the hill. Opposite the stop is Merridale Court. This estate of flats was designed by Bertram Butler and Company in 1952 and opened in the mid-50s. They are now locally listed. Some are privately owned and all have recently undergone extensive refurbishment. The bus now goes up the other side of the dip and along Merridale Road. It's along here on the right where the former MP Enoch Powell had his Wolverhampton home. Getting off on the other side of Merridale Road is the Oaks. A blue plaque marks the fact that John Marston, Mayor, Alderman and founder of the Sunbeam Company, lived here. The much neglected nurses' home and former eye infirmary are opposite. These important buildings are in bad need of restoration to their former glory. They have recently been bought for a peppercorn price by developers, but one does wonder if sufficient funds are available to do the required work. Our journey now continues along the Merridale Road. Getting closer to the city centre, the bus now enters Chapel Ash. We'll get off and have a look round. The Combermere Arms, part of a terrace of houses built in 1850. It became a beer house around 1860. On the corner with Bath Road are the former Charles Clark car showrooms, and behind them Banks's Brewery. Chapel Ash is a major route in and out of the city. Apart from our journey, there is the A454 to Bridgnorth and the A41 to Telford and Shrewsbury. The Clarendon Hotel is on the corner of Brewery Road, an entrance to Banks's Brewery. Look above the ground floors and the elegant original building style can be seen. St Mark's Church is now offices and is a Grade II listed building. It dates from 1849. A blue plaque acknowledges the Reverend Kenneth Hunt, well known for his time with Wolves and England. The former St Mark's Vicarage, behind Barclays Bank, is locally listed. The Atwoods Building, another former car showroom. Marston's new office building is at the east end of Chapel Ash. Opposite is a refurbished building of apartments named Belvedere Residence. I've heard them referred to as the Lego buildings. Are they Wolverhampton's answer to London's gherkin and cheese grater? These two buildings form a gateway to the Ring Road Island and the city centre. Reboarding the bus, the route now takes us along Chapel Ash towards the Ring Road Island. The bus now makes its way round the Ring Road Island and exits the Ring Road onto Salop Street. The stop in Salop Street used to be by the retail market. That has now gone, but the new Sainsbury's can be seen on the other side of the Ring Road. This open area is now to be the west side development of leisure facilities. It's now a straight run up Salop Street, across the junction with Victoria Street and Worcester Street, to the stop in Cleveland Street. Get off in Cleveland Street, and there is the entrance to the Wolverhampton Centre. Further up is the new retail market. The relocation seems to have been a success. At the top of Cleveland Street is the Central Library. The last part of the journey takes us into Garrick Street and Market Street to finish at the back of Marks and Spencer. The number 4 now goes on a route to the north of the city before returning to Springhill.